From the Joy News Center. This is News at 8.
This is a primetime news bulletin here on Joy News on Multi TV. If you're in Europe, Russia, or North Africa, you may be watching on ABN television in London. In this edition, Parliament directs Health Ministry to submit reports on investigations into missing baby saga at Konfanoche Teaching Hospital. Minister of Health reiterates directive to Kolebu management to return 9 vehicles purchased for staff, and hints current hospital board likely to be reconstituted. Upper East region farmers harbor fears of drought in 3 regions in the north as rains delay. Ghanaians despondent of the Black Stars' painful loss to the USA at the FIFA World Cup in Brazil. The President Mahama, in a post on social media, insists the team would rise again. More protests in the Upper East region over removal of regional minister in recent reshuffle. Also coming up in the bulletin, we have more sports, business, showbiz, and international news. Stay tuned.
News at 8 with Israel Lai.
Now, very first story. The Speaker of Parliament has directed the Ministry of Health to submit the report of the investigation into the missing baby saga at the Konfanoche Teaching Hospital. The investigations, among others, recommended some sanctions and security improvements. The directive was issued after the MP for Asare raised the issue on the floor.
Reading a short statement admitted by the Speaker, the MP for Asawase, Haji Muntaka Mubarak, pleaded with the Speaker to invite the Health Minister to present the findings of the investigations on the missing baby to the House.
Now the report is out. The press release on the report by the Ministry leaves so many questions unanswered. Key among these is the most important issue of the whereabouts of the missing baby. It is essential that as a House, we demand the report of the inquiry. Mr. Speaker, it is imperative that this House gets a copy of the report for further scrutiny and understanding of the recommendations and conclusions arrived at. I therefore take this opportunity to appeal to your good self to request the Minister for Health, to submit the report to this August House.
The Speaker shared the concerns raised by the member and gave his direction.
At this stage, I direct accordingly that the report be submitted to the House. When the report comes, it will be referred to the Select Committee on Health. And then when the Health Committee report is out, honourable members, this is a very serious issue. And I think that all of us should be concerned. It is about human life. If our mothers and our wives and our sisters and our daughters go to hospital to deliver their children and they cannot be found, this House must take that matter seriously.
The Deputy Majority Leader and MP for Ashaman, Alfred Agbeshi, suggested the Speaker give a 48-hour ultimatum to the Health Minister to submit the report. But colleague MPs shut it down.
By close of tomorrow, the report will reach this House for us to consider. Give them 48 hours to bring the report to the House, Mr. Speaker. I plead.
Speaker, room, rather than saying by close of business tomorrow. If there's a new minister coming, this is a very important issue that you may want to give them an opportunity to also address it. So I think you should give the Speaker 1 day is just too much.
They should bring this report to Parliament. So let them bring it to Parliament. But if it's in your wisdom, you want to give a timeline to it, I don't have a problem with it at all. But once you have directed that they should bring the report to Parliament, I am sure the report will reach the clerk's office as you want for the committee to look at it.
You are in charge of, you are assisting the majority leader in terms of conducting business in the House. So I think that the others stand. So you should try and facilitate it so that the report gets here as soon as possible.
Still in Parliament, Members of the House are still debating the vacuum created at some ministries by the recent presidential reshuffle. This time, it was the Defense Minister's deputy who was made to stand in for the substantive minister. The Minister for Transport was also in the House to respond to a question from some members of the House. Meanwhile, the President has formally presented the list of his nominees and appointees to the Speaker of the House, who has also referred it to the Appointments Committee for consideration.
In a related development, the Ministry of Health has defended the report on investigations into the missing babies incident at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital in Kumasi, explaining that the Attorney General's Department is expected to carry on with further investigations. The 5 babies who were allegedly born dead had been declared missing for nearly 3 months. Family of Sueba Mumin, a mother of one of the missing babies, has threatened to go to court to seek justice after a report by a committee which investigated the matter failed to establish the whereabouts of her baby. But addressing journalists at the Meet the Press series Tuesday, Minister of Health, Sherry Aite, said the criminal aspect of the matter has been handed over to the Attorney General's Department for further investigations and possible prosecution. She explained the committee instituted by her ministry only investigated 2 aspects of the case, which were of professional and administrative nature, because it did not have the mandate to investigate the criminal aspect. We're staying with the health sector, where the ministry has ordered a return of 9 brand new cars purchased by the Kolebu Teaching Hospital for some of its staff. The directive from the sector minister is a follow-up on an earlier instruction the hospital's board dismissed on the basis that there had been no official communication. Authorities at the hospital, after the latest directive, have told Joy News they will comply.
The vehicle purchase controversy was first highlighted in a petition from senior staff of the hospital to the president to complain about the misapplication of internally generated funds. The health minister told journalists at the Meet the Press series Tuesday afternoon the Kolebu authorities could also ask the beneficiary staff to pay for the vehicles themselves.
One would have expected that, as the law says, if you want to use your internally generated funds, then you will apply to the sector minister, and then we will apply to the Ministry of Finance for no objection. Because recently the registered nurses and midwife council, they wanted to use their IGF to complete their headquarters. They did apply to us, and we applied through Minister of Finance for no objection. So for, in the case of Kolebu, I think that perhaps it was an omission. They have bought the cars. So what the minister did, I had discussion with the chairman of the board that with the exception of the CEO, who is entitled to an official car, that the rest of the directors, they can own the car as their personal car through the revolving car system, and we will give them 7 years to pay. That it means that we have given them an offer. If they don't want to own the cars as their personal cars, then they can return the cars back to the pool, and we can reallocate the cars to any officer who is interested.
She also announced that she has advised a reconstitution of the current board once its term expires. Acting Chief Executive Reverend Albert Botwe explained management will comply with the directive. He, however, downplayed suggestions the decision to purchase the vehicles is a blot on his stewardship at the hospital.
I didn't just go on the floor of my own and decide to buy a car. I didn't also do something illegal. He said to have a car for the CEO's office is right, and it has been cleared. We, as a board, took the decision to buy it as a duty post car. Now they are saying that, well, the cars that were imported was purposed for these long leases. So we had to go by the long leases. you know. So it wasn't like we were pursuing something illegal, neither are they, you know, directing us wrongly. We were all going different ways, but the cars are being given away for the purpose for which it was intended.
The current standoff between management and senior staff of the hospital suggests bad blood between the two parties, but the acting CEO disagrees.
I don't think there is an issue. You know, people feed on information gap, and I think people were not clear on the law and people were not clear on this status. But as of today, you know that the clarity has been made, you know, and I don't think anybody will want to break the rules and go further than that, because I mean we must execute the healthcare policies in a sound and peaceful environment. And I think it is my responsibility to ensure that there's peace, serenity in the atmosphere in which we work. And for that matter, anybody who go untoward or, I mean, try to flout the law, it is not my fault if the law catches up on the person.
In another development, Minister of Health Cherry Ayite has urged service providers on NHIS not to carry through their threat to withdraw services to card bearers by July. As government is working on plans to pay all arrears before next month. She has assured government is still committed to making the system sustainable and efficient.
And the subsequent threat by the Christian Health Association of Ghana to withdraw services by July 2014. We are doing our best, and we want to assure the public that we have engaged the Minister of Health and the Minister of Finance, and we are negotiating on what we can release before the end of the year to pay all outstanding claims to both private, public, and the Christian Health Association of Ghana. So I will assure you that this will be done, and then there will be no need for people with NHIS card to be turned away, you know, from these hospitals. I want to assure all providers that we are working diligently, and all monies outstanding will be settled.
The Food and Drugs Authority has warned validity dates on food items do not guarantee the food is wholesome. Head of the Drug Enforcement Unit of the FDA, Thomas Amedro, says beyond the expiry dates that are printed, consumers should look out for other telltale signs that will give away a product's authenticity.
Our advice Ghanaians, they should take their health needs into their own hands also. You know, regulation is one, everybody must participate in it. We as regulators are playing our roles. You, the consumer, who is always in direct contact with the product, must also ensure that every time you purchase an item, look at the expiry date, check the manufacturing date, check even the manufacturer. You can even do the cursory wipe. Check with your fingers, feel whether it's there. And you know, sometimes you were even asking how we can even detect whether the product is good quality or not. Sometimes we even check the way the expiry and manufacturing date is embossed. Some companies have a way of embossing it, so that when you feel, you see the indentation. Some also just type it there. So sometimes the person who is faking it will not be able to emboss it the way the original manufacturer will do it. So that alone can give it away. And then even the shelf life, like we detect some products, the original manufacturer gives a shelf life for Africa for, say, 3 years. That same product on the temperate climate could be given 5 years. Then somebody will go and fake that product and bring it 5 years here. Then you know that, no, there's a question mark about this product because it shouldn't have lasted that long.
The authority adds registration of sachet water is a challenge for the authority and has called on the general public to be vigilant.
We need to investigate the issue of the stamps, whether they are actually from us or not. We will investigate. But normally we register, and as you requested, if you check our website, we regularly update the products that we register, both food and drugs, so that you can always get yourself apprised with the products that we have approved of. And then even if we approve of it and you have cause to suspect the conditions of manufacture, you are free. We want to appeal to the public to report to us quickly, because quality and safety issues are dynamic issues. They are not one-off issues, so we always want to be on top of affairs. So quickly report, as you've told us, we'll go in and quickly investigate.
The Judgment Debt Commission has promised to delve deeper into the compensation payments by the state to some individuals. It emerged at the commission sitting Tuesday. An amount of 1.4 million Ghana cedis was paid by government for the acquisition of lands for the Accra Plainside Agricultural Company. The government agencies which appeared before the commission did not have enough documentation covering the payment.
The land valued by the Land Valuation Division of the Lands Commission in 2002 was purposely for the development of an Accra agricultural company for the state. The state is said to have paid 14 billion old cedi to one Togbizaglisa and two others with respect to a land acquired in 1977. According to External Resource Mobilization Officer of the Ministry of Finance, Kojo Ewa Piasa, the ministry could not trace any document relating to the compensation payment.
Yeah, my lord, when I appeared before you last week, I mentioned that we couldn't trace this particular claim in our database. And you gave me a letter which I think we got from controller indicating that the release came from the ministry. I made further checks, and the schedule officer at that time recalls actually preparing this letter for the release of the amount. Unfortunately, she couldn't still trace the file, and I was convinced that it might have been sent to Pratt. So I made a follow-up with controller and accountant general, and they in turn informed me that they were in touch with the Ministry of Ag.
Chief Land Valuer at the Lands Division in his submission also explained the division was aware of the claims but had no knowledge of the payments made.
I haven't seen any such evidence of a commission by a court to his office to resolve or attempt a resolution of the conflicting issues. I have written to him to serve as copies of the court's commission so we can relate to the submission that he has put before us, because his letter is asking us to have a look at his whatever work he's done so far and then put our heads together so we can conclude it in relation to what our records depict.
He tendered in some documents to the commission in connection with the land. A chief state attorney, Stella Otemabidu, also appeared for the Attorney General and said the AG was putting the necessary documents in place.
From the letter I saw written by the then Attorney General, I think we sat down with the parties.
Compromise of some sort.
Yes, and they forfeited the interest.
The interest was the 2 billion was forfeited.
Yes, and then
so you were very lucky.
The evidence I have is evidence of the letter requesting the payment, but as to whether they've been paid, I can't tell from the file.
Meanwhile, the Judgment Debt Commission has also discovered the truth behind the payment of 340,000 old cedi to some unidentified beneficiaries whose name could not be traced. This was revealed by the Director of Legal Affairs at the Ministry of Food and Agriculture when he took his stand before the Commission.
At the last adjourned date of this particular matter, I provided the Commission with a document which I've come across. But the contents of that document ran at variance to my personal knowledge of the matter, and they run counter to other information that I have. Yeah, my Lord, my problem is I'm under oath to speak the truth and nothing but the truth. And the nature of that document conflicts with other things I know. And I would want to verify.
What was that document? Before you should give it back so that he tenders it.
Lead counsel of the sole commissioner, Dometi Kufisoko, assured the commission is going to dig further into such payments.
For a very long time, the description has only been payment of compensation to 340,000. It's a payment of compensation to the tune of 340,000, but there was no identifiable persons or beneficiaries of this compensation. But today, the representative of the Chief Director of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture has given us an update on who these beneficiaries were. He mentioned 3 families.
Matilda Pamagan for Joy News.
We're taking a break. We have more stories coming up, especially on Ghanaians' reaction to the Black Stars' loss. Now, millions of Ghanaians went to bed heartbroken last night after the Black Stars lost 2-1 to the USA in the first match at the ongoing FIFA World Cup in Brazil. Having beaten the USA in 2 previous encounters, many Ghanaians had hoped the team would be third time lucky. But that was not to be. Joy News was out and about to capture it all. The shock of the first goal, the cheers after the equalizer, and the disappointment after the final whistle. A report by Adelaide Arthur.
Before the game, one could sense the confidence, especially in the predictions.
What I'm saying is Ghana, I go for Ghana, 3-1. I'm saying 3-1 because if you take $1 right now, it's 3 cities. If $1 is 3 cities, then Ghana 3, USA 1.
No, you know why? Because I win either way. Because naturally, I'm an American, going for America, but I live here and I pastor in Ghana and I love the Ghana people, so either way I win.
I really think U.S. can win 2-1.
Really? But we've already beaten U.S. twice. There is hope.
One. We got to give them one. You know, just consolation. But Ghana 3 all the way.
Oh, 2-0.
Really? Are you sure about that? You think the USA will come and say that, okay, today to score us?
No, I'm very sure.
Hey.
Yes, please.
3-0.
Against Ghana?
No, for Ghana.
It, however, took less than a minute after the blast of the first whistle for all the excitement to disappear. And instead, disappointment. Frustration quickly set in as Ghana missed opportunities. Until the equalizer. In a rather painful turn of events, all hopes that the Black Stars would end up grabbing 3 points or settling for a draw were dashed when the USA came through with a winning goal. And with that, the USA had finally secured their victory over their nemesis.
You don't look disappointed. Why?
No, because I know we have 2 matches ahead of us. I'm sure, looking at how we played today, I'm sure our second match against Germany, we're going to beat them. And then the way, looking at how Portugal played today, we can beat them as well. So I'm optimistic that our next 2 matches we are going to win, for sure.
We were very much pressure. Like, we are very happy to see the boys scoring a goal, but it's rather unfortunate that the game ended very sadly. So, but all the same, we thank the coaches and every player that they were, especially the day.
Osei did very well. He did very well. You know, his tactics and the way he coached the players, he did very well.
After 4 years, USA finally have their revenge because they've beaten Ghana 2-1. So millions of Ghanaians tonight will go bed feeling very, very sad, broken-hearted. You know, the opening goal came in too suddenly. I was actually shocked. I didn't even realize that it was a goal. But then somewhere in the second half, Andre Dedeayu actually equalized. Their hopes were up. I mean, there was a glimmer of hope there. But then suddenly it was dashed again when the U.S. had their winning goal. So millions of Ghanaians going to bed feeling very, very sad. So from the Accra Mall, Adelaide Arthur for Joy News.
The FIFA 2010 World Cup.
Yes, indeed, we went to bed feeling really, really sad and heartbroken. And there are reports about agitation in camp, in the Black Stars camp and all that. George Adu Jr. will join me later and we're going to be talking about that. But President Mahama has urged Ghanaians to rally around the Black Stars despite their loss against the USA Monday at the ongoing FIFA World Cup in Brazil. In a series of updates on social media, the President said the Black Stars will shine again.
Ahead of the game, the President held a special Meet the Press session, speaking of how crucial a win for Ghana was. But few hours after what many have described as a disappointing show, the President posted on Twitter, "Black Stars can rise again. May God bless our Black Stars and may God continue to bless Ghana. Let us not be discouraged. Let us throw the full weight of our support behind the Black Stars. In a more comprehensive post on social media, the president wrote, quote, "Even though the USA scored within the first minutes of the match, we did not despair. We maintained our focus and we came back to equalize. We came back to claim our glory. And we celebrate our team, the Black Stars, for shining brightly in the midst of what seemed like a very bleak beginning." The statement also noted, although Ghana has lost this first match, it doesn't mean defeat, but rather determination. In conclusion, the president noted, quote, "Ghana, as I have stated many times, is not a country that can easily be counted out. We always come back stronger, braver, and even more victorious. Our Black Stars will persevere true to their name. They will continue to shine their light on Ghana and all of Africa, and indeed on the world." In a show of optimism, he said Ghana's flag has been raised high in Brazil for the world to see, and that Black Stars, the Lord Star which shines as a guiding light on our flag, will not falter. He urged Ghanaians to be even more supportive, optimistic, and focus on the strength of the will and talent displayed during the game. Gifty Andopia, Joy News, Accra.
Residents of the Upper East Regional Capital, Bolgatanga, have been marching through the streets of the town to protest the president's decision to remove the regional minister, Dr. Ephraim Avianto. President John Mahama, in his latest ministerial reshuffle, has appointed James Zuga-Tiega as Upper East Regional Minister. Upper East Regional correspondent Albert Sori reports the decision appears not to have gone down well with the people of the region.
The demonstrators, clad in red attire, marched through the principal streets of Bolgatanga, chanting various protest songs, demanding that Dr. Ephraim Nso be reinstated. The crowd, numbering over 1,000, was drawn from various groups including the Upper East Youth Association, the Northern Patriots for Research Advocacy (NOPRA), and also included market women and people from various districts of the Upper East region. They wielded placards with various inscriptions. The demonstrators converged at the Upper East Regional Coordinating Council, where one of the conveners, Bismarck Adongo Ayorogo, presented a petition to the Deputy Upper East Regional Minister, Daniel Syme, to be forwarded to the President.
We therefore wish to petition your office for his reinstatement and state as follows. 1. As common people in the communities across the region, we found the Honorable Dr. Avia as a hard-working, proactive, dynamic, charismatic, progressive leader who has the capacity and commitment to address the development challenges of this region, to transform the lives of communities from poverty and destitution to hope and prosperity. Yes. We find it difficult, therefore, to come to terms with Your Excellency's decision to remove from office an astute leader such as Honorable Dr. Ephraim Nso Avia.
Today's protest march is the second since the president's latest reshuffle was announced. Last week, NDC executives and supporters from Dr. Nso's home constituency of Bongo protested his removal and threatened to defect from the party if their pleas were not heeded. Albert Sori's reports from the Upper East region.
We'll bring you business news next. Stay tuned.
Good evening and welcome to Business. My name is Matilda Nyakwa Kweku. Now, farmers in the Upper East region are raising fears of a looming food crisis in the 3 regions of the north due to delayed rains. Long periods of drought in the region have pushed back the farming season for more than 2 months, with more lands continuing to lose their vegetation cover. Now, Joy News' Justice Baidu reports from the region as the world marks International Day to combat desertification.
Sweep through the semi-arid scrublands of Ghana's Upper East region.
Now we don't get, at this hour, we don't get sufficient rains. Look at this our dam. There's no water. It's not sufficient. How do we live?
This land space, already devastated by floods in the past, is now losing its fertility, and farmers whose lives depend on it are paying a high price for that.
For the weather, it affects us a lot. By this time, we're supposed to be farming, but this year it couldn't rain early. So just yesterday that it rains more, so we have to plant. If not that, the land will go dry.
But are you sure there are going to be more rains this year?
No, I can't best tell. We are just planning. So if it rains, but we can do this and the rain will not come.
We could have now been in a mood of what? Trying to harvest the millet, but it's because of late rainfall. You see that the grass are all fading up. So the condition here is too hot for us. And the fact is, our land too have lost its fertile.
The farming season should have started in April, but as at the middle of June, the rains are not in yet, and farmers are still waiting. Farmers here were brought down on their knees by the dreaded floods and drought of 2007, and fears are right here that may happen again this year. Extreme poverty here pushed many to harvest the few trees here to produce charcoal. Forest.
We know cutting down the trees is bad, but that's our source of livelihood. If we don't do this work, hunger will kill us.
Now, barring any unforeseen circumstances, public sector workers in the Greater Accra region would by August receive their salaries via the Ease-Wage service. This would constitute the first batch following a successful pilot among staff of the Controller and Accountant General for over a year now. According to the Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement Systems, the Bank of Ghana's directive for all commercial and rural banks, as well as savings and loans companies, to make Ease-Wage services available at all of their branches by the end of this month should set the tone for a smooth takeoff. The rollout should cover the other regions by the end of the year. System integrator GITS is partnering with the Belgium-based engineering company Automation to develop and sell highly energy-efficient containerized data center solutions. The new data center container enables IT facilities to be moved outdoors without compromising on the demanded security and flexibility.
Sometimes referred to as IT in a box, another feasible application for containerized data centers is to bridge an otherwise unavoidable loss of IT services during moves or renovation work. Automation, which won the Modular Award of the Data Center and Cloud Awards 2013, launched the data center, which among others will provide ready solution to the demand for more high density and quick deployment of information. For its Ghanaian counterpart GITS, the innovation will help improve businesses with a mobile and flexible data center.
For companies that are rented premise and they invested money in building a traditional data center, they can't relocate that data center. They would have to go and build a new one in a new location. With containerized data center right in a box, you can lift the entire data center to a new location. This actually is designed for rugged environment like mining, where probably in a building that you have built and you discover a gold deposit and you want to mine, you have to destroy the building in order to have access to the gold. In a containerized data center situation, you just lift the data center to a new place and mine the gold. You protect the investments you made in the data center without having to rebuild.
The mobile data center, according to the engineers, is specially designed with robust equipment to ensure smooth operation even in the toughest of conditions.
The security level of the container is very high. The container is very solid. This is steel, so that's number one. one. Number two, all the access points, the water, the power, are coming into the container through special valves, which are highly protected. Third, the whole system is from the inside securized. We have special locks, we have camera guidance, so the moment something happens in the container, we get alarm, we get things that start to... On the level of fire, there are automatic systems inside. Fire alarm up, the system starts to work.
He added several models have been designed and installed throughout Europe in the past decade and has helped improve businesses.
Thanks for watching Business with me, Matilda Nyakwa Kweku. Up next, the sports.
The World Cup season, a lot is going on, but definitely a lot of Ghanaians are very disappointed about that scoreline against the USA. Ghana lost to USA by 2-1. Some fans have been telling us they're so disappointed. This lady would actually interest you. Just have a listen to this.
Hey, somebody become, I'll slap my face because Ghana disappoint me. Oh, I'm worried. I'm tired because Ghana disappoints me. My first and last, Ghana disappoints me. I'm worried. Today, my husband no give me top money because of. I'm tired. I'm worried.
Okay, my Blasters, commenting on yesterday's match, very, very abysmal performance. It's not good. Technically, tactically, the coach was very poor. Why do you keep the playmaker to play for defense? Kuja Samoa must be in support of the forward. He must not be at the back. He must not defend. He must help the forward. You understand? So I want them to change the tactics to push Kuja Samoa forward and include Kevin Prince Boateng in the team.
All right, so let's allow the coaches to have their say. It would still go on, at least till Ghana is able to win a game, crucially against Germany on Saturday. Dealers in sport paraphernalia are disappointed in sales after the Black Stars lost to Old for USA and the opening match of the ongoing 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil. Dealers are, however, optimistic sales will pick up if Ghana manages to beat Germany.
The low sales on Tuesday only reflects the disappointment of patrons in the Black Stars after losing to the USA. In anticipation of victory, dealers ordered large numbers of paraphernalia only for the match to go against Ghana.
Today, the business is not moving at all. They are not coming. The customers are not coming. They are not buying today at all. Yesterday, they were buying a little. But today they are not coming at all.
Yeah, the time that we are started, they used to buy the Ghana jerseys and other things. But now, because of the lose, they are not coming today to buy.
I have not said anything here, just that we are just here talking about the football.
Despite the loss, traders expressed optimism in the next match against Germany and Portugal.
I hope Ghana will win the 2 matches left. Yeah. We're going to score Germany and then Portugal. They'll still coming for the jerseys.
So as for now, what I'm waiting for is Ghana versus Germany. Yeah. As for Germany, I know you can score them. So when they score them, then we are waiting for customers.
If you win Saturday match, I swear everything here will finish.
Now let's talk about a lot in relation to the World Cup, and government has for the moment shelved plans to airlift the last batch of football fans to Brazil to cheer the Black Stars in the ongoing FIFA World Cup tournament. The disappointed fans who have been waiting it out at the Accra Sports Stadium have since been advised to return to their homes.
The more than 100 fans stranded at the Kotoka International Airport for the past couple of days will have to go back home and watch the games on television. Several of the supporters were still hanging on at the Accra Sports Stadium.
You know, first of all, I would say those who were dealing with the slot did not do it well. So I don't know what is going on.
So the government must see to the big men that he's giving the opportunity or the work to, so that if they are going to deal with supporters, they should deal with supporters direct. They shouldn't deal with supporters as at the end of the day, then it's passing somewhere.
Many of them were still torn between returning home and hanging on. Should there be a miracle?
Yenya visa ye process for visa no. Omo anka bibi anhye. But aka 2 weeks ye be call. And almost your passport out no almost 865. But only just 50 slots. And since last week Thursday, Nipa is stranded. There was Stadium Airport, Stadium Airport, and me cry my dream said, me come because I have one for Sobia and Isu.
But others, although disappointed, mentioned they would find their own way to Brazil in the next few days.
Anya blaster and come tramiti Mahuma me di bomiti blaster egume bag musisia metime yi akire blaster nti me trousers bia me twetwe anim me bomiti mapempem na me bomiti ne blaster na me trousers me lace ne blaster me bia chese bia me yedwuma nyina obi anim say lucky edu Brazil enso me na meti stadium mi meko ko de meko pa mama hu se be ma ba na wo me meko ente me de vemo ba pa mama hu.
A member of the World Cup Committee, Bright Edu Asare, in a phone conversation confirmed the cancellation of the sponsored trip was due to accommodation challenges government is facing in Brazil. He, however, said alternative arrangements are being made, and if successful, the fans will be airlifted to Brazil to chair the national team in the second Group G game against Germany Saturday, June 21. This is the plight of several of these supporters whose dream of traveling to Brazil to cheer the Black Stars up for victory has been dashed for reasons unknown to them. Matilda Pomaga for Joy News, Accra.
All right, yeah, so I'll quickly give you an update on the game that's currently ongoing. It's Brazil up against, of course, Mexico. And the scoreline is goalless at the moment. But before that, Africa's quest to do well in this competition failed once again. Algeria lost out to Belgium after taking the lead. They lost by 2-1. Let's have a look at the goals.
I'd encourage her, actually, Kevin Prince Boateng. But no, I think he's already hitched, right? That's it for Showbiz.
Showbiz was brought.
A quick run through our top stories. Parliament has directed the Health Ministry to submit a report on investigations into the missing baby saga at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital. The Minister of Health has reiterated the directive to the Kolibuk management to return 9 vehicles purchased for staff, and hint the current hospital board is likely to be reconstituted. The Upper East region farmers are harboring fears of drought in the 3 regions in the north as the rains delay. And Ghanaians despondent after the Black Stars' painful loss to the USA at the FIFA World Cup in Brazil. But the President Mahama, in a post on social media, insists the team would rise again. And there are more protests in the Upper East region over the removal of the regional minister in a recent reshuffle. That'll be all for the bulletin. My name is Israelite. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good evening.